Hello, everyone. My name is Mireya Luna. I am the Mujeres de HACE Program Manager, and I will be leading this webinar. So thank you so much for joining this informational webinar. Today, we'll be sharing information on our Women's Leadership Program, Mujeres de HACE. We are very, very excited to have so many people join us today. If you have any questions during the presentation, please type them in the chat box. We will address all questions during the Q&A. And in the meantime, before we are waiting for other people to join, if you can please type the name of the city you're connecting from. We would love to know where our people are from, since we have programs in 8 cities. Great, so we have Chicago, Miami, DeKalb, yay, DC, Chicago, wonderful, great. So as you're letting us know where you're joining us from, let me walk you through the agenda for today. First, we will introduce the speakers that will be presenting today. Then we will talk very briefly about the Hispanic Alliance for Career Enhancement, also known as HACE. Then we will take a deep dive into Mujeres de HACE and talk about the components of the program with a closer look at 2, which are the leadership assessment and the coaching sessions. Then we will hear from a former participant on their experience with the program, and from one current participant as well. And afterwards, we'll talk very briefly about how to get involved with the program once people have completed it. And then we're going to finalize with addressing the frequent asked questions and answer any additional questions you might have. And I see that people are connecting from Miami, more from Chicago, and New York. It's really, really exciting. So if you haven't had a chance to type the city where you're connecting from, please do so in the chat box. Also, please type any questions that come up during the presentation in the chat box, and then we will address them at the end. So to talk more about Mujeres de HACE, first let me introduce the speakers. As I mentioned earlier, my name is Mireya Luna, and I'm the program manager for Mujeres de HACE. So our first speaker today will be Patricia Mota. She is the president of the Hispanic Alliance for Career Enhancement. Patricia will be sharing information about the organization, as well as how to get involved after completing the program. Next, we have Marlene Gonzalez, who is of Life Coaching Group. She has been with Mujeres de HACE since the program was created. She serves as a trainer and as the executive coach in the program. She will be talking to us about leadership, the leadership assessment that is used in the program, and the coaching sessions, and why those are crucial to the professional success and personal growth of Latina professionals. And last but not least, we will hear the testimonies of Melinda Martinez. She is the Liberty Partnerships Program Manager at Marist College in New York, and she's the current participant of the Mujeres program in the New York cohort. And we will also hear from Cristina Ramones, who is the second vice president at Northern Trust, and she is an alum from the 2015 Chicago cohort. So now let me give the floor to Patricia, who will be talking to us about the Hispanic Alliance for Career Enhancement. Patricia, are you on the line? All right. Patricia, we were having some technical difficulties. Yes, go ahead. You have the floor.
Wonderful. Thank you. Hi, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us today to hear about the program. I serve as the president for HACE, the Hispanic Alliance for Career Enhancement, and began my career at HACE in 2010. At that point in time, leading this program, the Mujeres de HACE program, which at that point in time was currently only offered in Chicago, and now proud and excited to see that we are now offering the program in multiple cities. We've had great impact and great success, so excited to offer the program to other cities, but also to be able to reach our increase our reach and our impact, and to now have Mireya on board leading this initiative. But for purposes for me, just wanted to, before we get started, share an overview on HACE and what we do as an organization. We are a national nonprofit organization founded and based in Chicago, founded in 1982, and primarily at that point, our founders were working for corporations headquartered in Illinois, who were saying they were having a difficult time finding Latino talent or Latino professionals to work for them. And so what they did was informally connect employers across the state to their network of Latino professionals. Since then, we've evolved, but also that has continued to remain a core part of our mission and our work, where we function as a connector through dedicated recruitment programs and services that we have throughout the year. Whether it's our job board, whether it's our career conferences, targeted recruitment events, ensuring that we're actively engaging talent to career opportunities. In early 2000, as we continue to expand our work, we heard from our corporate partners that, hey, you guys helped us bring in talent. Can you help us continue to engage, retain, and develop talent? And so at that point in time is where we began what we consider our pipeline and leadership development programs that as of right now span from youth, high school students, college students. We have young professionals network and initiatives. Our Mujeres de HACE, which is the program that we're talking about today, and then our Leadership Academy. Anywhere from 16-week to year-long programs where we have curriculum and content to ensure that we're helping folks get to the next level in their career education. And thirdly, our third core pillar of work is what we consider thought leadership and branding opportunities, ensuring that we are showcasing our corporate partners, the employers that we work with, that the work that they're doing that aligns with our mission, with hiring through us, advancing their Latino employees through our organization, and supporting our annual and fundraising efforts. So here you see the three core pillars of work that I just provided a snapshot on. Overall, we have a network of close to 45,000 across the country. Membership with HACE has always been free. You go to our website, create an account, upload a resume, and we consider you to be a part of our organization. And the way that we engage our members throughout the year are through the various events and programs that we offer. And so I'll stop there, and happy outside of today's call to answer any questions or to speak further on any of these initiatives and the work that we have going on. But happy and excited to have you guys here with us to learn more about the program. And I'll hand it over back to Mireya. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Patricia. So now let's dive deep into Mujeres de HACE, or leadership program. So the program Mujeres de HACE was created with a vision to impact thousands of women in order to create a world full of empowered, productive, and fulfilled Latina professionals that can change tomorrow's workplace and improve tomorrow's communities. So the mission of the program is to empower high potential Latinas to succeed professionally and thrive personally by providing insights, access, and professional development in a way that addresses the multiple roles that Latinas lead, right? Such as professionals, as mothers, as wives, as daughters, as leaders, and much, much more. So in order to achieve the mission and vision of the program, The Hispanic Alliance for Career Enhancement has developed a culturally relevant curriculum that is covered during a 14-week period. During these 14 weeks, participants attend 7 sessions that take place twice a month in the evening from 5:30 to 9 o'clock. In these sessions, experts discuss topics such as leadership style and strategy planning, personal branding, building effective partnerships and networks, personal financial planning, practicing negotiation and influence, as well as how to create a healthy work-life balance. In addition to the sessions, the participants are involved in a team project that incorporates leadership theories, research, and civic engagement. The participants also take an individualized insights leadership assessment to identify strengths and areas of growth, and they receive coaching sessions as well. And we have Marlene Gonzalez with us today that's going to talk to us more about the insights assessment, what it is, why we use it, and why the coaching sessions are vital to achieving professional and personal success. So let me make sure that Marlene is on the line and she's connected. Marlene, can you hear us? I think she is also having some technical difficulties. Thank you for your patience. Okay, Marlene, are you able to hear us? Okay, there you go. Okay, Marlene, you have the floor now.
I was muted. I don't know why.
Yes.
How are you doing?
We are doing great. Thank you for your patience. So let's talk a little bit more about the Insight Leadership Assessment and why we use it and why the coaching sessions are so vital to the success of the participants.
Thank you, Mireya. The reason we use Insight Discovery compared to MBTI, DISC, and any other profile out there is because we're really focused on leadership effectiveness and capabilities. So in order to advance, to develop, and to promote Latinas, we needed to make sure that there were 4 competencies and capabilities developed in them. Sorry, that was my line. So the first capability is the ability to lead themselves as leaders, how they carry themselves day in and day out. The second capability is getting results, is leading results, is the ability to be directive, to set goals, to focus on the results. The third capability is around leading strategies and leading vision. And the fourth is leading people. Having the ability to coach, to mentor, to develop others, to be part of the team, but also have the ability to manage conflict within the individuals. So the Discovery profile focuses on 20 plus pages that the individual gets that is very detailed on energies and capabilities. Every single color that you see there has a purpose and a reason. And during the coaching session, we go individually on their uniqueness as a leader, their gaps, blind spots, how they make decisions, and all the different things that they are challenged by in the current job, or the things that they need to develop in order to advance and get promoted. So the colors that you see there are the different energies. Those energies will up in the workplace. The yellow energy that you see there is the capacity to be visionary, to be strategic. The red energy is the capacity of that individual to take on leadership roles, be leading results. The green color that you see there is the capacity of leading people. And the blue one is the capacity of themselves leading values and purpose, and the systematic side of the leader. So we get into the detail and we help them put together a plan, that is actionable and that helps them identify and assess their patterns of leadership behaviors and also the gaps and the capabilities. After the session, the first session, we do have a individual mentoring and coaching with a certified instructor that knows how to use insights and is a licensed practitioner for that. These are the 4 manifestations that we look into helping Latinas develop throughout this program. And as you see, it's a combination of colors, but we want Latinas to be visionary, to be strategic, to get the results that are expected, and also lead themselves in a center and wiser way, and build the relationships that are necessary for them to get ahead and to get promoted. If you go to the next page, Mireya, the next one. That's why we have included coaching into the program. It's about building self-awareness, identifying those patterns or behaviors that might be holding Latinas back. It could be cultural traits. It could be behaviors, skills that they haven't developed, but that individual session is a private, confidential session that they have with a coach, specifically to build self-awareness, but also how they make decisions and why do they do the things they do and how they react in a certain way and the choices they make and the implication of those choices around them. And at the end is putting a plan of action together and making sure that they have the tools and the resources throughout the program to learn, to practice, to expand their network and be able to learn more. And at the end of the program, what we want is transformation, is someone who walks through the program and really enhances their leadership capability and feels confident and competent to take on more challenges, to grow, to advance, to get promoted. That's what I have for you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Marlene, for sharing that great insight information with us. So now, again, I want to remind you that we are recording the webinar, and also if you have any questions, to please type them in the chat box. And I just want to make sure that our 2 next speakers are connected to audio. So if you're having trouble, please send me a message. I see that Cristina is still having some problems. Okay, so let's now hear from our current participant, Melinda Martinez. As I mentioned during her introduction, she is the Liberty Partnerships Program Director at Marist College and is participating in the 2016 New York cohort. Thank you, Melinda, for joining us. And
Hi,
can you hear me?
Hi, everyone.
Yes.
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, wonderful.
Okay.
Great. So thank you, Melinda, for joining us to share your experience so far with the program. Please, if you can share with us a little bit more about yourself and what has been the biggest takeaway from the Mujeres program, and also if you can give us an example of the impact it has had on your professional career so far and or in your personal life.
Sure. Well, first off, I want to say thank you very much for this opportunity. I'm very excited to share my experience with everyone. A little bit about me is I am a director of the Marist College Liberty Partnership Program. It's a nonprofit dropout prevention and college access program for inner city students placed at risk. I've been 2 years at this position, and the reason why I joined HACE was because I really wanted to expand my skill set as a mid-level management. And really learn from people in their field how to become more on the executive level and network with amazing women out in New York City. Formerly, I was the director of the Sylvan Learning Center, which is a for-profit educational learning center for students in K through 12, and I did that in New York, New Jersey, and Florida. So now that I'm back here upstate New York, I really wanted to go and connect with network, and that's what HACE is currently offering me. You had asked me today my biggest takeaway. One of the things I would have to say, and I really have to appreciate Marlene, in the short amount of time, I'm halfway through the program, has really gone above and beyond with life coaching sessions. Currently, she helped me work out a negotiation letter regarding my salary with my boss after I got a great review. And not only that, but she called me to follow up, to give me tips. When I was completely nervous writing the letter or right before I was going to speak with him, she walked me through it. After the fact, when I called her and I told her how it went, that it went well, she congratulated me. So my biggest takeaway not only was to have somebody so well seasoned like Marlene spend time with me talking about personal and professional goals, but also meeting a great network of Latina women who are empowered, who want to help one another. And the hours that we spend just talking and trying to connect with one another and help each other out. Not only have we really discussed our professional goals, but we're setting up brunches and we're doing things outdoors in New York City that makes it a lot of fun, that we're not only professional friends, but we're also becoming very good personal friends. So I'm very, very grateful to ASE for that experience.
Wonderful, thank you. And what advice do you have for any women out there that are seeking to take advantage, take their career to the next level?
Sure. I would say if you're a little nervous and you're not sure what to do, see what's out there. I definitely researched ASE, and I was a little concerned, especially because I live upstate and the classes were in New York City. But I knew the program, the 13-week program, the networking, learning from executives was something that I strongly desired. Because I did reach a lot of professional goals, I wanted to find out what was my next step. I wasn't quite sure, so I said, you know what, I'm going to sacrifice the 2-hour train ride there and the 2-hour train ride back. But I know that I really want to go and excel and strengthen my skills. So I would say make sure you research and find out if it's a good fit. Don't be intimidated by the cost of the program, because it's definitely an investment in yourself. You can work through different options. ASE has done a great job and awarded me a partial scholarship and has even helped me compose a proposal letter to my HR, my boss, and they were able to pay for the rest. So it's been a complete blessing. Don't let any roadblocks get in your way. If you really want to succeed, there's definitely options to go ahead and make that happen.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Melina, for that and for taking the time to join the webinar. So now let's hear from an alumna, Cristina Ramones, who I believe is trying to connect. Cristina, are you on the line? Okay. We're going to give Cristina a few more minutes or seconds. Cristina, can you hear us now?
I think she's offline.
Okay, so Cristina is second vice president on Northern Trust, and she participated in the 2015 Chicago cohort. But just last year, she graduated in August, and now she not only is she back at Mujeres helping during the current cohort, but she also has joined the Mujeres de ASE Alum Board. So, Cristina, are you able to hear us now? Thank you, everyone, for your patience. We're going to give Cristina a few more moments. I know she's trying to connect. Okay, that might be her. Cristina, can you hear us? Sometimes technology is not your friend. All right, let's give Cristina another minute. Okay, so while Cristina is getting connected, because we definitely want to hear from her and her experience in the program, maybe we can come back to her in a minute and talk a little bit more about what happens after the program. Okay? So how do people get engaged? How do they stay connected to Mujeres de HACE and, of course, the Hispanic Alliance for Career Enhancement? Cristina, can you hear us now? Okay, so let's go back to Patricia for a minute. Cristina?
Hi, I'm here. Can everyone hear me?
Okay.
This is Patricia.
Perfect. Oh, okay. So, all right. So we're gonna go with Patricia, and then we'll come back with Cristina. Thank you, Patricia. If you can, please let us know a little bit more about how women can stay connected to Mujeres and the Hispanic Alliance for Career Enhancement.
Sure. And thank you, Melinda, for sharing your experience halfway through the program. So it's great to hear that you've already gained so much. And the other thing that I would mention before talking a little bit more on what happens after the program is that one of the other key values I think and that I've seen during the program is that, you know, we all lead very busy lives with family and various obligations that we hold day to day, and to make the commitment to be at these sessions, not only are you listening to our speaker, you know, go slide after slide, but it's a lot of the shared learning and the women who are in the room that not only support and help one another with advice and maybe have experienced the same thing or a similar challenge in the past, but also having the time, the 3 hours or so, to actually work on what that topic is for yourself. So our personal branding session, we provide the tools and the guidance into working on your own brand, with your drafts of your brand statement. What are some possible tools for you? Networking, what are some practices or ways to navigate your relationships and in and out of the workplace? And negotiation and influence, on being able to learn some tips and tools, but also to practice during the sessions. And I think having that time to do so during the program is key. In terms of alumni engagement, there's a couple ways that we continuously engage. As Melinda mentioned, on your own, we hear women are getting together for brunch or for you know, lunch and things like that throughout the year, and so that's great, and we love to see that. We formally offer opportunities to come back once you have graduated through the program to facilitate sessions. So we have alumni that come in and they introduce our speakers, they help facilitate the conversation throughout the sessions. And some even now that are at senior levels within their organizations are coming back and leading some of our seminars. And that's great, and we're excited to see that. We formally have an alumni board, and they're tasked really with engaging alumni throughout the year through programs and events, and helping to fundraise with scholarship opportunities. And so we're actively seeking folks to serve on the board, and it's all women who've gone through the program before, but also looking for ambassadors across the country now that we're in several cities. And then lastly, I'll say we have various programs outside of the Mujeres de HACE, whether it's our young professionals, whether it's our college students, and so we have various alum that come back and are mentoring, are speaking. We have various engagement opportunities, whether at our conferences, whether at the schools or our other partners throughout the year, and so that's another opportunity to engage. And so I'll stop there, and again, you know, happy to answer any questions or expand on any of that. So thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Patricia, for that. And I think we're still having problems connecting Cristina, so we're gonna give her a few more minutes to see if she can join us. So we have heard a lot about the program, and from Melinda and Marlene, thank you guys for that. So you're probably wondering, what are the requirements, right, to apply for the program? So how do you qualify? So we select the participants to the program based on the following. So the person must have a bachelor's degree or equivalent work experience, proven leadership skills and abilities, currently working at a manager, director of or BP position or has been identified with a potential to obtain those level roles. And lastly, you must have defined career goals, and you provide all this information during the application process. Right. So now let's talk a little bit about the frequently asked questions, and then I'm gonna get to the questions in the chat box. Again, if you have any questions, please type them in there, and then we'll get to them shortly. So the cost. So unfortunately, it's not a free program. It does have a cost of $1,500, which goes back directly into the program. It covers the cost of the presenters, the materials, the coaching sessions, the food, and all the expenses that are part of this program. A lot of people ask if there's financial assistance. The answer to that is yes, but before that, we like to empower women to ask their employers to cover the cost of the program as part of their professional development. We provide them with a letter that they can use to make the ask, and we have seen over and over, at least 8 out of 10 women that ask their employer to cover the cost, they get their employer to cover the cost. And I think Melinda alluded to that. She talked to her employer about covering the fees of the program, and they did. So that's the first step when people ask about financial assistance, is that we talk to them about reaching out to their HR department. We provide them with the information that they might need to do the ask, so that they can get that fee covered. And recently, we had a participant who looked for sponsors on her own. She looked for sponsors to cover the cost of the program. And she found a sponsor that not only cover her costs, but also develop a partnership with us so that they will be sponsoring a person per year. So there's ways of covering the cost, and we are more than happy to work with you to develop a payment plan. Definitely, we don't want the fee to be a barrier in your participation, so we are flexible with that. The other frequent asked question is when is the deadline to apply? So we have several deadlines in 2 cities, Minneapolis and Miami. The deadline to apply for the fall cohort is July 15th. So you can submit your application now. For Los Angeles, McLean, Virginia, and Chicago, it's August 5th. For the spring deadline is March 15, and that will be for Chicago, New York, Washington, D.C., and Houston. So how do you apply? The first step to apply is to visit our website, ACEonline.org. The first step is to complete a profile once you're there. And then once you have completed a profile, you go to the Programs tab, you find Mujeres de ACE, and then you click Submit an Application. So now let's answer any questions anybody may have. And see, Cristina, are you on the line?
Cristina, speak up. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I have Cristina on the line. Go ahead, Cristina.
Oh, okay. Cristina.
Cristina, are you there? She's asking to be unmuted from your end, Mireya.
Okay, let me see. Okay. Unfortunately, I don't see Cristina. Okay. Is that you, Cristina? I still don't see her to be able to unmute her.
Okay, I'm just calling her. Give me one.
Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to unmute everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I can hear you now. So I'm sorry, everyone. Thank you so much for your patience with this. If you can put your phones on mute so that we can hear Cristina. All right, wonderful. Cristina, can you hear us? Hello, Cristina? Okay, let's try this one more time, Cristina.
Cristina, I'm going to put you on speaker. You feel comfortable going that way? Go ahead. You're on.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and get started. Thank you, everyone, for your patience. I'm trying to see that it's worth it.
Can you hear?
Yes, but there's a lot of static.
Okay.
So folks on the line, if you can put your phones on mute. And we hear a beeping noise in the back.
Let's try.
Okay. Let's try to.
Cristina, do you want to introduce yourself, please?
Do I want to interview myself? Yes. Okay, Cristina, I think we can hear you now. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get started. As Mireya mentioned, I went through the program. I'm currently employed at the Northern Trust Company. I did go through the cohort in 2015. Our name was Hermanas Unidas. And just to give you a brief history on me, I've been with the organization for 24 years. And while I have progressed in my career, I'm very confident in saying that it wasn't until I went through the program that I felt that I excelled more. What is my takeaways from the program? When I think about the Mujeres de HACE program, what it has done is allowed me to tap into my inner strength. So what does that mean? It's enabled me to basically let go of my self-imposed limitations. I think we all have them, I think as women in general, but then also as Latinas, you know, and that could come from your childhood or just whatever limitations that you put on yourself. So I think that was the biggest takeaway that I had. An example that I have for you is shortly after completing the program, I experienced a rough couple of months in my current position, and you know, I had to reflect, take a deep breath, and think about the program, and think about all the coaching sessions and the discussions that we had, even you know when we had the breaks. And I was able then to exercise my personal courage to bring up the challenges that I was experiencing in my current role with the department. Well, it wasn't the department, it was the national head of the department that I was in. And it took a lot, but I saw movement. They recognized my hard work, and the situation changed. So that's one example. The most recent example that I'm really excited about is the fact that I'm currently in the midst of negotiating an opportunity to relocate to an office in Tempe, Arizona. So this is me picking myself up out of my old life, going somewhere where I have no family, and it's a personal courage. It's the empowerment that I feel that, you know, that I can just go do it. Why not? What's the worst that can happen? I am moving with my department, with my organization, but I'm going to another place, a new experience, and I just feel the doors will open for me. And I'm really
excited about that. And when I reflect back and I think about the program and I think about Madeleine and, you know, going through the review, aside from going through all this, the program the cohort that's currently going on this year is also being, you know, sponsored and at Northern Trust. So I'm actually co-leading that effort and, in essence, going through the program again, because as you know, sometimes you can read a book or you can watch a movie, but then when you watch it again, then it just kind of sinks in and you're like, oh, I didn't see it from that way. So I've actually had an opportunity to go back and look at my assessment again. And like I mentioned during the session, I'm like, it's hard even now trying to read it because there's some things about ourselves that sometimes we don't want to see, but we have to in order to be able to grow and evolve. So that's what I like about this program. If I have a takeaway for women and their career is to invest in yourself, to continue to evolve, and I think this program will allow you that. I'm not going to tell you that there isn't certain topics on there that I'm sure you could find a book on, or you can find a YouTube program. Yes, you can, but it isn't about that. It's about the experience, the sisterhood, and the ability to connect with other individuals instead of connecting with a book or connecting with a YouTube video. So that's the takeaway that I have, and you know, I'm really involved in it, and you know, if all goes well with this relocation, you know, I would certainly love to expand this program out to Arizona. So that's how passionate I am about this program.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Cristina. And I apologize for all the technical difficulties, but I'm glad that you were able to join and share your experience with us. And congratulations on your possible move to Arizona. That's exciting. So let's move on and answer some of the questions that are in the chat box. So somebody's asking if there's room to network or a mechanism to network with those that don't live in the same state but are part of the ACE program. So yes, we intentionally create an activity for the cohort to connect with two people that don't live in their cities, but they're participating in the program at the same time. So you have that, but you also have access to their information, right? So if you're ever in New York or in Houston or in DC, you can definitely connect and reach out to them and establish those relationships with people. So currently we have about 83 women that are in the program in the spring cohort in 4 cities. So if you're participating in that, you have access to all those 82, 83 women to be able to establish a relationship and a connection with. You know, in one of the sessions I heard your network is your net worth, and I certainly have not seen that from that perspective, but it makes really good sense. So one of the things that I encourage women to do is to expand their network, and this is a really good opportunity to do so. So Roxanne, the answer to your question is yes, we do have that, and thank you, Melinda, for elaborating more on that. So another question is, what if you apply, were accepted, but at the same time could not join? Do you reapply? So yes, unfortunately, there is a review process that we have to go through for each cohort. So if you apply one year and you decide not to join, and you decide to join either the fall cohort or the spring cohort the following year, you do have to reapply and have to go through the same process again. Let me see if there's anyone else who have any other questions. Again, feel free to type your question in the chat box. Okay. So while we're waiting for more people to add their questions, let me invite all of you to, one, become a member of HACE so you can stay informed of all the events and opportunities we have. As Patricia mentioned, one of our goals is to connect Latino talent with different opportunities in the corporate sector, but we do have opportunities in the private and nonprofit sector and government as well. So become a member and check out those employment opportunities. Also, if you live in Chicago, we have a couple of events coming up. We have a luncheon, which is part of our Mujeres the leadership development, or after the program leadership development, where we're going to have really wonderful speakers talking about their careers and how their paths took them to where they are now. That's also a fundraiser that's taking place July 23rd at the I don't have the address of the location yet with me at the moment, but if you visit our website, all of our events are there. Okay, so another question is there a breakdown of the cost in the letter to the employers? So we don't have a specific breakdown of what each component costs. We only have a set fee. We do include in the letter all the components of the program and what you're getting. And we work with you to tailor the letter to fit your needs. So you can definitely help you with that as well. Okay.
Mireya, there is another question coming from
Sure.
Elizabeth Castro.
Yep, I'm seeing it now. Is there something similar to women who are interested in knowledge opportunities offered to reach management level? So definitely, like I mentioned earlier, this is for women that want to move forward in their careers, right? So maybe you're not at the management level yet, but that's your goal. That's where you're trying to get to. So this is the program for you, right? And so you don't necessarily need to be in that position yet, but if that's where you want to go, then we will definitely help you to get to that position. Okay. Anybody else? Okay. Ileana's asking, I recently moved to Chicago and looking for a job. Is an obstacle to enroll in the program? So no, you can still enroll in the program if you're not employed, Ileana. And as I mentioned earlier, if you become a member of HACE, then you can search the employment opportunities that we have available, and maybe we can connect you with any opportunities there. We're also going to have a networking event with Mujeres coming up. So visit the website. The date and the information is there because there's different opportunities available at BMO. Somebody else is asking, is there an opportunity for those who are not currently employed? So again, you can definitely join the program. You don't necessarily need to be employed, but there's the other requirements that you also need to meet. But for those that might not be able to attend the program right now, we do have a lot of webinars that cover different leadership topics. So again, I encourage you all to visit our website, become a member, so you can have access to all the opportunities that are coming up. Okay. Anyone else?
Mireya, can I actually state some of my final thoughts?
Sure.
Okay, this is Megan.
Go ahead.
I just wanted to reiterate everything that Cristina had mentioned before is that investment in yourself and believing in achieving your goals is what really drove me to join the program. As I mentioned before, I'm a 31-year-old and I was in middle-level management, but I know that I had a lot of aspirations, but I was in real search of the tools to grow, especially since in my private institution, there are not a lot of women in middle-level management and nonetheless women of color. So in this program, I really found out how much value as a Latina I bring to my company. And I learned about analyzing my strengths and my weaknesses and developing a lot of strategies to work on my weaknesses. So in that way, I'm very well versed. So in that way, I can be even beneficial and more competitive. One thing that I do want to completely stress is how much it has changed my life personally, aside from the professional part. Just feeling empowered, as Cristina has said, really embracing my culture, the uniqueness that I bring in, but also meeting women that are around the same level with the same goals and aspirations. Many of the women that I've conversed with thus far, not only in my New York cohort, but in the other cohorts, are very first generation Latinas who are educated, who want to really leave a legacy behind for their families, since their parents came to this country and made sacrifices, just like my dad did. So now I'm working on what is my legacy, what I want to leave behind, and really learning how can I get there. So I just want to really reiterate how proud I am to be a part of this program, and I really appreciate everything that I've learned thus far.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Ms. Linda, for those last words.
Yeah, actually, this is Christina. Can I just say one last thing?
Sure.
Sure. I was rushing. I was trying to get everything through, but there's this one part that I did not get a chance to talk about, and I think it's important because as Latina women, not knowing everyone's personal life, but I am, again, I don't mind disclosing my age. I'm 40. My son is 21. He's a senior at the University of Michigan. So for me to have the empowerment and the personal courage to stop and focus on myself is important. So I want to ensure that that comes across. So when I'm talking about relocating, it's like, oh, well, some people might be like, well, people relocate all the time. But no, but to me this is important because I'm going to let my son do his thing, finish his senior year, go on to grad school, and while he's working on himself, I'm going to work on myself in Arizona. So that's the type of personal courage that you can gain and empowerment from this program. But it's just like anything else. You have to be willing to. It isn't just going to be given to you. You have to be open-minded and, and really invest in yourself. So that's the last thing I wanted to say.
Wonderful. Thank you, Cristina, for that impactful message. And definitely I second that. As women, sometimes we tend to put ourselves second and not invest in ourselves. So this program gives you that opportunity for 14 months to just focus on yourself and look at those areas that need growth so that you can improve them. So there's two last questions on the chat box. Where does the program meet? So in different places here in Chicago, they meet at Northern Trust, who is the host. At DC, in DC at AARP, New York, and VC. So you can have all that information. We have that information in the website. So once you signed up, we provide you with the address and the location. But the other question is if the meetings are face-to-face or online. And yes, Sandy, the meetings are face-to-face. The sessions, it's classroom style. We don't offer online sessions currently. You do get your sessions with the coaches over the phone if you preferred. But yeah, so the location depends on the city and it depends on the different cohorts, right? So for the fall, here for Chicago, we're meeting at Miller Court here in downtown. So Yeah, there's another question. What is the benefit of the program for people who are not in those cities mentioned? We are expanding, and we hope to expand to other cities. Esmeralda, what city are you from? Oh, LA. So we are coming to LA this fall. So if you're interested, definitely fill out the application, go to the website, and get the details. So we are expanding to 4 more cities during the fall, and hoping to expand to other cities in the upcoming years. Yes. So I think that gives us a full hour of information on Mujeres de HACE. Please reach out if there's any other further information. I will provide you all with my contact information, but here is our phone number, and again, visit our website, become a member so you can stay informed of all the webinars and all the networking opportunities and events that we're having throughout the year. So thank you so much again, Marlene, for taking the time, Melinda and Cristina for sharing your experience, and we'll stay in touch.
Oh, thank you, Mireya. Take care, everyone.
Thank you, Mireya.
Thank you.
And thank you all for taking the time to join us.
Cristina.
Hello.